Hello and welcome back to the ongoing Tech Tips series on data. So I have all these charts that I've made um, and I want to now present them and share them with my group. I'm gonna, so I have these charts. I want to bring them over to Google Slides. I have a Google Slideshow back here and a couple of things that I want to show you. To add a slide, I just go up here to plus, and you could actually choose what kind of slide. I usually want a blank slide. You can also do Control M for that, but this is one where I tend to click because I don't do it that often. I'm going to come back over here to my data, and it's real simple. I can come to this data and I can copy and paste it. So I click up here to edit the chart, and I can also copy chart. Okay, so I copy it and I paste it here, and it gives me an option to link it or to not link it. So if I link it, I'm going to go ahead and paste it. That means if the initial data changes, then this chart will change. And notice it says linked chart, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and make a slide and paste it again. And I'm going to paste it on link so we can compare the differences of those two. So for my purposes, I would say if I'm giving a presentation, most of the time that presentation is a specific moment in time. So I might be trying to provide a snapshot of data at a specific time, right? So this one is linked and this one is unlinked. So this is where my data is right at this moment. So I'm going to come back here and I'm just going to change the grade numbers. So let's say that we have 50 people now that have a D. And notice how different it makes this chart. If I go back over to Google Slides, it looks the same, but I can click here and update it. And now, because it's linked, it goes ahead and updates it. If it's not linked, it's just a picture. You don't have the option to update your slide. So notice I don't have my update option here. Here, I can go ahead and open the source, and it is easy to link back to, okay? There are pros and cons to each. If someone were to go back to a slideshow and want to see the source material for this, it would make it easier for them to go to the source. But if I'm presenting a snapshot in time, I probably want this to be an image, right? Just a couple of things that you can do, and you might notice, I'm going to close this because most of the time you won't have that open. So I'm going to click on this, and up here I get some image options, right? Now if I go over here, I get some format and image options as well, but they're going to be a little bit different depending on what it is, okay? So all the things you can do to an image, you can do to a chart. So I totally could crop this. So, let's say I didn't want the title of grades in biology and I couldn't unlink that chart. I could just clip that part out with this crop tool. So once you click on the crop tool, you'll notice that the borders change and you can change what part is cropped, okay? If you do not have this tool selected and you click on the borders, it's going to resize. So I can make it bigger or smaller. Please, please do not resize from the sides. It makes things look bad. This is one of those things that I always teach my students too. It just looks so bad if you do that. Don't do it. Always resize from the corners and it'll maintain the aspect ratio and always look right, okay? One other trick that I really find helpful is right now, because it has a white background, it really blends into the background. And this is just a small little thing, but I like to go to my format options, come over here and add a drop shadow. And then it really does show up and you can see the chart and see the borders of the chart, and it kind of defines it for the person who's looking at it. And one more thing, and this is really more of if you're going to print it out, you can recolor here. The reason why I would do this is if I was needing something to be in black and white. So if I was going to print it out and print it on a copier, if I print it like this, if I format it to black and white color, to grayscale actually is the correct term, this is going to print better if I do not have color. Okay, now let me close my little window. And now one thing I would not do when you recolor is actually choose the option that is black and white. So this is the black and white option. You're not going to be able to see the differences in it. you really want to choose that grayscale of some sort. So that, if I was going to print it out, again, that's for a real different use than if you're presenting it, because when you're presenting it, you can take full advantage of the colors. All of the formatting for this, we're still going to go back to, we're still going to go back to our data and change it here. But once we've changed it here, we can then bring it over here. I hope this tech tip helps you out. I keep clicking on the wrong screen. And I hope that you have a great day today. Thanks.